Hi, this is Sonia, and today I thought I would show you how I organize my floss. I actually filmed this video maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, and it just ended up being really long, and I'm pretty sure I never posted it. But I since then have changed the way that I have things set up, and so I'll do kind of a quick overview of how I used to do it and how I'm doing it now. So I have been using Atom Heart floss bobbins or floss drops for several years now, and I had originally ordered these, which I think she calls them chips. And so what I was doing was basically she sends you these little like white stickers, and I would just write the DMC number on them, and then put them on ring, like put the DMC flosses on here and put them on rings. So and these were, I think, misprints, so I think they were just like too cloudy. The clear was too cloudy, some of them, and so I purchased them at a reduced price. So that was what I was using, and then you know, my stash started to grow, and so I used up all the ones that I had, and I think that when I looked, she was sold out, or she wasn't making these anymore, or whatever other reason, I decided that I was going to switch to something else. And so I originally was using, then I switched to use some of these because it was more cost effective, and these are just like the very thin plastic bobbins. And then what I did was I cut additional holes in there. So I've got like one hole for portions of thread. So if I take 2 off a 6 strand, then I'll put the other 4 on the side, and then the whole, like the pieces that are whole, go down here. So I think I cut my floss in like, I can't remember what length I do, but I mean, it's pretty much what most people do. And then I would just write the DMC number, or like this one was for classic little sprout, and this one was for licorice red classic. And then I would put these on, and then like special flosses got to go on these chips for as many as I had, which is probably like 25, I would imagine, probably just the one package. And the way I was punching the holes was I was using this We Are Memory Keepers hole punch, and it's really nice because it goes through plastic. It has a little compartment that holds it. So I was using my Crocodile, and then I got this one, and that was working great. I actually bought some pink ones, and then you can, writing is with Sharpie, and you can take it off with nail polish remover. So that's how I was able to switch them around. But I think at this point I've gotten totally off of these. I wanted a little upgrade from that. So I went back to Atom Heart and ended up getting these, which are just the normal floss drops. And I think I got like 100 of these so that I wouldn't not have them matching. But then of course, once I started putting the DMC on these, then I did have need for more, and I just didn't want to spend the money on that. And so I was watching Bridget, the Museum Stitcher, and she talked about how you can buy a bag of like 100 or 150 of these clear ones. So I went ahead and did that, and then I went back through all of my DMC, and I put all my DMC on these clear ones, and then I put my fancy flosses on these. What I had been doing previously was for the fancy flosses, I was leaving it on the labels, and I was just hole punching extra holes for the portions of a floss, and then I think these already came with the full floss, and I was doing that for everything. And then I basically just took sheets of clear transparent reinforcement circles, so that when you're pulling floss off, you know, you weren't ripping these cardboard. And then I can't remember who, but somebody suggested to get these like hanger things for the Weeks Dye Works, since they're so short. And I just got them on Amazon. They come like this, and those worked perfect. But it just bothered me that they were all different sizes, and especially these Night Stalker Calling and Dying for Sass ones. They didn't fit in any of these bins, which is what I decided to start using. So I went ahead and took all of my fancy flosses off of these, and then just in case I change my mind later, which, you know, we all change our minds, I'm keeping all the papers in case I decide I want to put them back on here and go back to the system I was using before. But so like I said, right now I've got DMC on the clear, I've got fancy floss on these pink ones. Right now I'm not using these just because they're a different size, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. And then I think I'm at some point going to order something similar to this, like this glittery, but with, here, let me see. You can see it there, but maybe in like a blue. And then I'll put the silks on the blue and have cotton fancy floss on the pink. I just haven't done that yet. But so, that is how I have the system set up. And then, when they're being used, they look like this. I put little labels on everything, so I'll show you that when we get to it. But I do keep them in these boxes, and I have 5 of them right now. And one of the things that I did with this is I incorporated, his name is, or his YouTube channel is SonovaStitch, and I'm going to put a link to both the TheMuseumStitcher and this YouTube video so you can kind of see what other ideas they have. But his idea was, or the idea that I saw first on his channel was to arrange the flosses by their DMC color. And so if you watched my database video, which I'll put a link to, you'll see that I have a section in there for the columns. But essentially, so there's this DMC book that lists all the DMC colors, and so there's like these family of colors. So like 951, 3856, 722, they're all in column 16. And so what I did is I just put all of those colors into column 16. The reason that I did it this way is I wanted to be able to more quickly exchange colors or swap things out without having to buy all of the flosses that were needed for projects. And so by having them in kind of color families, I'm able to more quickly see that, okay, like 920, here's another orange over here in column 15, just like all the oranges are together. Well, most of the oranges are together, most of the yellows are together. So I just went through this booklet and kind of identified like, okay, you know, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are mostly greens, so I'm going to put them in the same box and call that the green box. And like 1, 2, 3 are pinks and reds, and so I'm going to put them in a pink red box. So I just did it the way my brain thinks, and then I tried to only use I guess 5 rightmost columns, and that left this full first column for fancy flosses that go with the color family. So again, like, you know, if a pattern calls for 920, but I decide I want to do something variegated, I can hold it up right here and see, you know, of the fancy flosses I already own, these two might be good matches to swap. And then as far, I know that I've seen a couple where when people put these in column order, they also keep track of what place they are. So for example, let's get the book back out. So for example, like 722 would be column 16, spot 3, because it's the third down. I'm not doing that. I actually just have them in numerical order within the column. Because for me, that extra second is not worth keeping track of what place within the column they go to. So this is how I have it set up. So this is my orange bin. And so this is columns 17, 16, 15, 14, and 13. And this is my neutrals bin. So that is column 18, 19, and 20. And then over here, I've got my black fancy flosses, gray, beige, and brown. And then I've got a whole place where, you know, multiple projects might use 310. So I do still keep it on these flat ones so that I can put them in multiple places. I've got that E940 glow in the dark. Here I have white. I think I have B5200 here. It needs to be replaced. Ecru over here, along with 3865. And then the columns. And then for the other ones, for my reds and pinks, and I only put 3 columns in here because I figure I'm going to be buying a lot of pink fancy flosses, so I wanted to leave room. So I've got columns 1, 2, and 3 here. Let's see. And then I just kind of sneak these in wherever. This one is 6, 7, 8, 5, and 4. So the blues, mostly blues and purples. Plus my fancy flosses and silks. And then here in the greens, I have 9, 10, 11, 12, plus some fancy flosses. And then I started putting some of these back here so that they wouldn't fall over. And then I decided I didn't care, so I took them out. And I guess I hadn't taken them out of there. So that is how these bins are set up. And then if you notice that they have the labels, so I'll go back over to the red box. So here in the red box, this was also an idea I saw from Bridget on the MuseumStitcher. She got these stickers. I think she said she ordered the actual like Pip and Chip stickers from the UK. I just went on Amazon and got, I guess, like a cheap knockoff version of the stickers. So I just got kind of the cheap knockoff stickers, and they come like this. And then when I buy that DMC, I just put it in the top corner. And then I can go through and do that. And then for the fancy flosses, I wanted to, so for the DMC, since I can look in the book and find the colors, it wasn't as important to me to be able to see the colors. It was more important to me to be able to see the numbers. But for the fancy flosses, it was more important to me to be able to see the colors at a glance. So that's why these are on the side. And then each of these have multiple labels on it. So let's see, I have one right here. So this is what I was originally doing. I was just writing the, let's see if it'll focus. No focusing today. That's okay. I was just writing the name of the floss here, and then like, so for example, this is Blue Spruce by Weeks Dye Works, and so that's what I was originally doing. But then, of course, when you wrap it up like this to put in, then that covers up the name of it. So once I started putting them away, after I had them all labeled, I had to go back and relabel them. So I ended up getting this tiny printer, which I'll put a link to on my Amazon page, or I'll put a link in the description box. But I just got this Nimbot printer, and it prints out these labels. You use an app on your phone, and you just type in the name, like whatever you want it to print. And so what I do is I put like the company, the acronym for my database. So this is Weeks Dye Works. And then I put the name of the floss over here. So that's Blue Spruce. Let me see. So that's Blue Spruce. And then I also put the name of the company over here, since it's going to be kind of filed sideways. But when it's on the floss, it's up and down. So that is how I do it. And then, like I said, so when I'm using the flosses in a project, they're kind of hanging floss drop style from a ring. And then when I put them away, this just gets wrapped up a little nicer than that though, and just like filed away. And essentially what I do is, you know, these are all 6-stranded except for some of the silks, I think, are 10. So I just have them pre-cut to the same length, which I can't remember right now. I think it's like 30 something. And then I'll take off 6 and put it over here. And then over here is where I'll pull from, whether I'm taking 1 strand or 2 strand. I'm just maybe to like type A to just pull 1 from 50 over here, because then you just never know which ones are 6 and which ones aren't. So over here I know these are not 6 and these over here are 6. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. When I get done with a project, I just throw all the flosses in this bin, and then it's, you know, Taylor Swift popcorn bucket. I just throw them all in there, and then when I get some extra time like today, I can go through and wrap them up and put them away. And so that is how I am organizing my floss right now. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enter some of the new threads and items that I purchased at Under the Sea Fabrics, my local needlework shop, and then in my database. And then after that, I'm going to sit here and start labeling all the flosses that I bought and putting away some of these projects that I dekitted. I've got to print all the labels. And so, you know, if you're into like body doubling and working together, go ahead and keep watching. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video.